Hi class, what I want to do in this lecture here is show you how to use a really great application or app in your TI-83 or TI-84 calculator that'll solve many of the problems we've actually been doing without using the complicated formulas or doing them by hand. Okay, so what our goal here is to master the TI calculator for these problems, okay, using just this really cool app, and I'll show you in the next slides and in the lecture. So we're going to use the calculator for the following. Annuities, both for finding the total value of the annuity and for a required deposit for a savings goal. We're going to do it for loans, so for finding the payment on a fixed installment loan, we'll do an example with a mortgage. And for payout annuities, with the last lecture we just did, both for finding the balance at the start and for the withdrawal amount, so how much you can withdraw, pay yourself in retirement. And so this app that we're going to find on our calculator can be found the following ways. And as we go through this lecture, I highly encourage you to have your TI calculator with us as you watch this lecture, and to pause the video and to try the problems as I do them too. All right, so you're going to use this button on your calculator called Apps, and when you click on it, it'll load up all these different applications. And under number 1 here, you'll see this option for finance. And then when you click on finance, under option number 1 as well, you'll see this thing called TVM Solver. That stands for Time Value Money Solver. So on your calculator, I load it up. The way you find it is you just click the Apps button, Finance, and then TVM Solver. And then you're going to see there's all these things, okay, that we're going to have to put in. It's going to seem a little confusing at first. But after you get the hang of it, I promise you these problems are going to go really, really quick. Okay, so what you're going to do here is you're going to be solving for one of these options. Okay, you're going to be solving for one of these options. So if you look on your graphing calculator, down here you see this option for solve. Okay, so you're going to be solving for one of these. All right, and so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to input everything else. Okay, so here what do the options stand for? N stands for the number of payments or deposits in total. That's just lowercase n times t, so the number of payments per year times the total number of years. I you're going to plug in as the interest rate as a percent, not as a decimal. So if I say, the interest rate is 9%, you're literally going to put in 9. PV stands for the present value of the loan, like today, or the present value of the annuity or loan or whatever. It's as if like today is what's the present value. PMT is the payment amount, so that's how much you would either pay for a loan or in terms of a payout annuity, how much you'd pay yourself. Future value, that's how much is going to be in the future. Okay, how much your annuity will be worth. Payments per year and compounds per year, those will all be the same thing. Generally that'll be 12 because we'll do monthly payments. And then PMT is, do you make the payment at the beginning or the end of the month? It doesn't, for our calculations here, we're just going to leave it default that are going to make payments at the end of the month, okay? But it doesn't necessarily matter too much. All right, so it can be a little confusing what you need to plug in first, all right? But I promise as you see the problems, it'll make sense. Okay, so here's the first one. At age 21, to save for retirement, you decide to deposit $100 into an IRA, into a retirement account, at the end of each month at an interest rate of 6% per year compounded monthly. How much will you have from the IRA when you retire at 65? Okay, and then it says find out how much of that money comes from interest as well. Okay, so what we're going to be asking for here is how much you will have, in your retirement account when you go to retire at 65, okay? So let's just write down the options from the calculator. NIPV, interest rate, the present value, the PMT, the future value, and then compounds per year, and then payments per year. So we have to first off figure out what we're trying to solve for here. Okay. So the first off, we want to figure out how much we have from the IRA when we retire at age 65. So that's way in the future. So we're actually solving for the future value. All right, so N, that's the total number of payments. So we're doing monthly payments. And then for how many years, right? So if you start at 21 and you go to age 65, how many years are you saving for? Well, you can see that that's 44 years. But, if you need to go, it's 65, and I started at 21, 44 years. So what you'd actually plug into your calculator would be this, 528, okay? Basically, you're making 528 payments. All right, interest rate is 6%. Present value, so it's like how much is in your account today? I know it seems weird, but you'd actually put 0 because there's no money in your account, so the present value is 0. PMT is how much you're paying. So you're paying $100. Now here's where it gets a little weird. You actually have to put minus $100, right? Because you're paying. You're basically the way the interpretation of that is you're losing $100. Okay. And then compounds per year. We said monthly 12, and we're paying 12. So now watch how I do this in my calculator. So I'm going to go apps, finance, TVM Solver. So 528, interest rate is 6, present value is 0. I'm making $100 payments, so that's why it's $100. I want to solve for the future value, and 12 and 12, and payments at the end. So then what you'll do is you'll go back to future value, and down here in your calculator, you'll see right above the enter sign, there's this thing called solve. So on my calculator, it's green. So I have to go alpha, solve. And then look, this is how much will be in my account in the future. It'd be $258,000. $426 and 52 cents. Boom. So you can see, I know it's a little confusing for what you're plugging in here, but you can see how easy this is compared to using the formula. And then how much of that money comes from interest? Well, that's going to be the total value in your account minus the total payments. So you're going to take, in my account, was going to be $258,426.52 minus, I'm making $100 a month, so $100 times 12 every month. For how many years? For 44 years. So how much you made just from interest? So 258,426.52 minus 100 times 12 times 44. Wow, you made a ton on interest. Look at the time value of money. Okay, you made $205,000 $626.52. So you can see right here, start saving now. Even $100 a month, if you can put that away over a long period of time, is really, really going to add up to, a good amount. All right, let's try another one. So suppose you want to save $1 million for retirement in 40 years. You anticipate making regular end-of-month deposits into annuity that pays 5% compounded monthly. So how much should you deposit each month, and how much of the retirement comes from deposits, and how much comes from interest? Okay, so let's go through. We're going to use our calculator. So you're going to need to figure out what these are. NI, PV, PMT, future value, compounds per year, payments per year. Okay. All right, so N, what's the total number of payments you're going to make? Well, 40 years, and you're going to do regular end of month deposits. So 12 monthly deposits for 40 years. That gets me 480 total payments. What was the interest rate? 5%. So now here's the thing. You want to save $1 million. You want to, in the future, 40 years from now, you want $1 million. So your monthly payment, or your present value, not monthly payment. Your present value is zero because you have no money into it. How much do you need to deposit each month? That's what we're solving for, your payment. And then in the future, you want $1 million. And then, compounded monthly, and then regular end of month payments, 12. Okay, let's see what happens. So apps, finance, TVM Solver. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's jump right into it. 480 total payments. 5% interest. Present value is zero. I'm looking to solve for payment, so I'm going to leave this alone. For now, I'm going to come back to it. Future value, I want $1 million. And then payments per year, compounds per year is 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to PMT because that's what I'm solving for. And then I'm going to hit alpha, solve. You're going to notice it's going to report it as a negative because, basically you're paying that much money. The interpretation is you're losing it. But, we can just report that as the positive, okay? Because we realize that, our result, we're going to want to say how much money and leave it as a positive. So you're going to have to pay $655, and when I round up, 30 cents. Okay? See, that was a lot easier than using the formula. All right, so B. How much comes from deposits? Well, that's just going to be my PMT times N times T, okay? So it's $655.30. Monthly payments times 12 for 40 years. So 655.30 times 12 times 40. So in total over 40 years, you made $314,544 in deposits. So look, how much of this came from interest? Well, this is just the total minus deposits. Well, how much do you have in total? You had $1 million. How much did you make in deposits? This is crazy how much of this came from interest. $1 million. Wow. This is time value of money. Start putting money away. You made $685,456 in interest. That's awesome. Time value of money. Start saving now. If you start saving now, the more you can put away over a long horizon, you're going to end up with a lot of money. Okay, let's try another one. All right. Suppose you wish to purchase your first home for a price of $350,000. The bank requires a 20% down payment. The cost of the home is financed for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 7.1%. Okay. Find the required down payment. Well, you're going to take 20% of this $350,000. So basically, you're going to have to give the bank $70,000 just to get the mortgage. Okay. Now, how much is the actual mortgage amount? Well, they're going to back out your down payment. Okay. So you would take your $350,000, but you're already paying $70,000. So really, your mortgage is only, but your mortgage is for $280,000. Okay. All right. Now we want to find just the monthly payment, not including taxes, insurance, just the monthly payment on the loan. Okay. All right, so we're going to use our calculator. It's N, I, present value, the payment amount, the future value, and then the compounds per year and payments per year. All right, so N. So 30 years, and you're going to make monthly payments. So it's 12 monthly payments for 30 years. You're going to make 360 payments. All right, for your mortgage. The interest rate was 7.1%. Now here's where it gets a little crazy. Your loan amount, are they giving you the money now or in the future? They're giving you the money now. So that's the present value of your loan, okay? It's $280,000. They're asking you to find the monthly payment, so that's what we're solving for. The future value of your loan, well, after you pay it off, it's going to be worth $0, okay, because you're paying off the loan. Monthly payments, and your interest is compounded at the end of every month here. So, all right, so let's figure out what the monthly payment is. So apps, finance, TVM Solver. 360 payments, 7.1%. Present value of the loan is $280,000. We're going to come back to payment. Future value is 0. So how much are we going to have to pay? How much is our monthly payment going to be on this loan? So remember, it's going to report it as negative, but when you go to report the answer, report it as a positive. So your monthly payment is going to be $1,881.69. Okay. Part D said, find the total interest you paid over 30 years. Okay. Well, the total interest will be the total payments you make minus the loan amount. Right? Anything on top of the loan amount is just interest. So look, total payments, you're making payments of $1,881 $881.69. How many times? 360 times, right? Monthly payments for 30 years. And you borrowed $280,000. All right, let's see how much you paid in interest on this loan. 181.69 times 12 times 30. So basically, that's how much you paid over 30 years. So look, you paid a ton in interest, more than actually how much the home cost. Okay, that's why it's like, that's how banks make these monies, right? Because the loan is so long, they need to beat inflation, so that's why you pay that much in interest. It's crazy. $397,000. $408.40. Just in interest, more than the cost of the house. So much, so much. All right. Let's talk about some payout annuities problems. All right, so after retiring, you want to be able to take $2,500 every month for a total of 20 years from your retirement account. And the account earns 7.5% interest. How much will you need in your account when you retire? Okay, this is where it gets a little confusing. So here are your options. N, the interest rate, the present value, the PMT, the future value, compounds per interest, and payments per interest. Okay. Let me show you how to do this. This is where it gets tricky. Okay. Let's start by plugging in what we know first. Okay. You're going to take out $2,500. So I'm going to plug in negative $2,500 here because you're paying yourself. You're taking out of the account. So that's why it's interpreted as negative. All right. Every month for 20 years. So the total number of payments would be 12 times 20. Okay. That's 240. You're getting 7.5% interest. And our compounds and payments per year are going to be 12. So here's the thing. This is where it gets a little weird. You have to figure out, are you solving for present value or for future value? Okay. So here's the giveaway. How much will you need in your account when you go to retire? Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. After 20 years, you want your account to be depleted, right? You want your account to be $0. Okay. So that means way in the future, you want the account to be 0. That means what we're solving for is the present value, all right, of the account. Okay, how much you need at the start. So let's figure it out. Apps, finance, TVM Solver. 240 total withdrawals. 7.5% interest. Present value is what I'm solving for. Okay. I'm going to take out $2,500 a month. I want my future value to be 0. So now I solve for this. There you go. That's how much you're going to need in your account. Okay. You're going to need $310,330.33. Gets a little tricky with the payouts, like to figure out if you're going to plug in present value or future value. Okay. And look, if you end up doing it differently, you're going to get different values, right? Like, so you gotta make sure you know which one you're doing. You can see how vastly different the values are. All right, let's do one last one. So here's a flip side one. You know you will have $1 million in your retirement account when you retire. Nice. You started saving early. Perfect. You want to be able to make monthly withdrawals from your account for 25 years. And you know the account's going to get 5% interest. How much can you withdraw each month? All right, so again with the calculator, it's N, the interest rate, the present value, the PMT, the future value, and the compounds per year and payments per year. All right, so what is N here? You're going to make monthly withdrawals for 25 years. Be 300, I think. So you're going to make 300 payments to yourself. We got that. Interest rate is 5%. And now here you're asking how much you can withdraw each month. So this is what you're solving for. All right, payments per year and compounds per year are going to be 12. So let me ask yourself this. After 25 years, you want the future value to be worth $0 because you want to pay out from this. So that means in the present value, you put $1 million here. Okay, because in the future, you want to deplete the account. So let's figure out what our payment's going to be, how much we're going to pay ourselves each month. Finance, TVM Solver. We're going to make 300 payments. Ugh, we're only getting 5%. I have $1 million to start. Million. Going to come back for PMT. Future value is 0. So I'm going to go back to PMT and hit alpha solve. Nice. I'm going to be able to pay myself. This is why you need save a lot of money early. $5,845.90. All right, class. You're always welcome to use the formulas that are given to you. You totally can do that. Or if you want, you can use this TVM solver. And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know.